What is up, you guys? Glitchiz here, and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a quick overview video going over all the updates that dropped in the most recent 1.4.2 patch. It's actually a lot bigger than you think. There's a ton of stuff that was added in this recent update, and there's a few extra things that were added that actually wasn't in this post that I'll show to you guys as well that I found was pretty cool. But without any further ado, let's jump right into it and try and do this as quickly as possible. So right out the gate, a big feature that people wanted for a long time is officially being added to the game, and that is the ability to display certain parts of your cosmetics and toggle them on and off, including the backpack cradle. So that's a really nice feature that was added. So look forward to that. That is in the game now. Selling deviations from your vending machines has also been added. Players can now trade deviations in face-to-face transactions via the vending machine. You can now sell multiple items per slot as well at the vending machine, which can be purchased separately. So now you don't have to put everything individually in different slots. If it's the same type of item, you can stack them, which is really convenient. There's also going to be multiple wish machine prize pools that have been added. One for the Brahmini sniper rifle, one for the hazardous boom, I believe, and I think it has the boom boom as a secondary weapon as well. And then sharp bounce, which includes legendary blueprints for the sharp blade pants, the Bastille jacket, shoes, and gloves. So those were added to the wish machine. Event adjustments, the end of date for the Gather Friends and Accept Invitation events has been changed to April 24th for server time, so that was extended a little bit. We also got a bunch of new shop arrivals, the first main one of which is a brand new battle pass. Keep an eye out. I'm going to be doing another video, should upload shortly after this one, going all in depth on all the new items that you can unlock in this most recent battle pass that just dropped. So check that out. We're also getting a brand new loot crate, which should open up in approximately 15 hours, give or take a few hours, depending on when I get this video out, called the Sinful Blaze. Unfortunately, the Pyroglide was removed, but instead we're getting this really cool flaming Western cowboy themed one with a really cool flaming skin for the R500 pistols, which is pretty nice. I really like that look. Anything with glowy bits, especially burning and fire themed stuff, I really like. So we'll definitely have to check that out. Moving on, in terms of future shop arrivals, available from March 6th onward, we get a really cool, almost like vampire hunter themed skin, the Camellia Chase collection that's going to be added. This was one that was actually shown off in one of the surveys. They kind of post certain cosmetics that we can vote on that we think are really cool, and this was one of them. I think it has some really neat glow effects, and just the style of it is actually really neat, so I'm looking forward to that. We're also getting a really cool new red Camellia themed library territory cosmetic pack with some roses and red furniture, so that's pretty cool. Moving on to scenario changes, they optimized the interaction and display effects of the scenario challenge screen, so it's way cleaner now and looks really neat. I can actually show that off really quick here. So if we just go to our seasonal banner and go to scenario challenges, it looks way more organized now. This used to be in a small little window off to the left. All of the different phases weren't even available. You used to have to back out and then click a different phase and then jump back in to see those current rewards. Now we've got them stacked per scenario. I think Manibus is the only one they've done right now, but Way of Winter should be coming soon and updated to match this similar style. So that's pretty cool. We got the same 4 tabs here with all of our different challenges, but now they're just quickly organized and easily accessible based on phase. So really nice UI update there. Moving on, they optimized the scenario challenge guidance. The novice scenario challenge tasks for all Manibus scenarios that open after February 26th. Tasks are now categorized into guidance, merge, and collect. Complete the challenges to claim the Mitsuko marks and the new avatar frame. So players that are just starting out for the first time and you're on those novice servers, they've revamped that to be a lot more user-friendly as well. So that's pretty cool. Moving on to weapon balance adjustments. I won't go into full details here. I'll probably put a link to this update in the description if you want to see all the in-depth details. But we do have some nice buffs coming to Hazardous Object, Hammerhead, and the Memento. Some of them are pretty similar to what they were before. It was more so just tooltip changes, but overall they are getting slight boosts, which is pretty nice here. For developer notes, building on our experience, future balance adjustments will adhere to the following principles. PvE and PvP balance adjustments will be completely decoupled to prevent mismatches in strength. So they are going to stick to the whole game plan of balancing weapons separately on PvE servers compared to PvP servers, because we know how overpowered certain builds can be, especially on PvP servers. So they're going to tune the damage outputs depending on the scenario that you select, which is nice. We will avoid making drastic adjustments at once to minimize negative impacts on players, current builds, and progressions. So that's always good. New blueprint conversion attempts will be issued after this update. Additionally, other weapon balance suggestions from the community are under consideration and will be gradually implemented based on their urgency. You can send us suggestions via customer support or the CodeDev feedback platform, or just message me on Discord and I can hit up the devs directly and pass along your recommendations there as well. Moving on to Lunar Oracle updates, they added a tip for lost lunar whispers. If the player backs out, or blacks out rather, during a Lunar Oracle, the amount of lunar whispers that they lose will now be indicated in the bottom left hand corner of the screen, so you know how many you're losing if you die. And then for purification mode, they removed the limit. This is territory purifications, specifically on Manibus servers. They removed the limit of 40 rewards per week for purification mode. The maximum number of Eclipse Cortexes and Chaotic Cortexes per purification is now only going to be 10, but after purifications, you will obtain both asterisms and Stardust Source. So they kind of modified and revamped that a little bit. In terms of construction, they changed the water depth for construction from 10 meters to only 1 meter. This is a very big change, especially on PvP servers. I'm guilty of it as well because it was in the game when we did it and we sort of took advantage of it. But people were building bases way out in the middle of water and surrounding entire islands and things like that. So now they're limiting how close to different water features you can actually build to make it easier for people to get on and off of different areas on the map that were otherwise inaccessible. So that's really good added feature they've changed. They added a second confirmation tip when demolishing a thermal tower for Way of Winter. They changed the permission rules for farming facilities so that only friends with the storage permission turned on can interact with them so people don't steal your stuff. Added scroll wheel functionality to control snapping in 90-degree increments to another player's territory during relocation. This is nice because it used to only be 180 degrees and you couldn't necessarily align your territory exactly how you wanted. You had to plant it down and then lift your whole base up and manually rotate it. Now you can shift your territory a little bit more detailed when you're snapping to an ally's territory boundary, which is really nice. And they optimize the dimension of 1/4 materials. So they snap more appropriately. For vehicles, this is a big one. They optimize the suspension model and suspension physics for motorcycles. So hopefully that means that the handling and things like that should be a little bit more fine-tuned, because I hated the turning and the bouncing on motorcycles. They also optimized the stability of the vehicles while airborne and added the ability to slightly steal vehicles while airborne as well. You can now control the vehicle's angle and position more precisely before you land. So that's nice if you go off a jump or something. In terms of wilderness, they added new wilderness navigation shortcuts and added an indicator, which is shown right here, to indicate how much of a concentration of Stardust sources in your area. Before, you just had the little percentage number on your cradle, but depending on some of the skins that they've come out with, it was a little hard to see. So now everyone across the board, I can kind of show it more clearly in game here. If we back out, as you can see in the bottom side of the screen, you get that little green, yellow, red meter above your sanity bar. That tells you in a visual sense right off the gate, regardless of which way you're facing, the level of sanity issues that you're encountering in that given area. So that's pretty cool. Moving on to teams, this is big. They adjusted the maximum number of players per hive on Manibus servers to 16 now. That was pretty cool. I want to say it was only 10 or 12 or something. So you get a few more added friends that you can add. They added the ability to destroy bound items. If you're like me, you have dozens of these that have just been sitting in your backpack for like 5 scenarios straight because we haven't been able to get rid of them. You can now destroy them, and once they are discarded, you will not be able to recover them, so proceed with caution. For visual stuff, they optimize the visual appearance of scenic viewpoints in the volcanic region of the Way of Winter scenario, optimize the reload sound effect, which was pretty annoying, of the Brahmini sniper rifle, and then they have a ton of random bug fixes some for the shop, some for lunar oracles. Fix an issue where if a player was defeated by a deviant that spawned due to gathering, the wrong cause of death was displayed. So tooltip fix, bunch of fixes for the wilderness, dungeons, your territory. Fix an issue where some body types in the for characters' hands and legs were clipping while sitting. So just some cosmetic adjustments there. Combat, fix an issue where some deviant corpses that overlap during death would ragdoll their physics and throw them into the air. Kind of funny, but also a little bit annoying, especially if it comes to looting their body afterwards, which was pretty frustrating. Fixed an issue where ice crystals were being delayed when spawning, so the frost builds should be a little bit more consistent now. Fix the issue affecting the size of some melee weapon skins. The bounty hunter weapon damage bonus was not stacking. That should be fixed now, as well as the renegade 4-piece set bonus. This was big. The reloading effect did not trigger when reloading from an empty magazine. That annoyed a lot of people. That should also be fixed now. For vehicles, fixed an issue where the vehicle repair button conflicted with the territory repair function, and fixed an issue where alighting from a motorcycle caused the player to fall underground and get stuck below the map. So that should be fixed. For mods, fixed an issue where some epic mods were able to be upgraded 5 times instead of 4. So that's good. And then guidance, fixed an issue where the panel in the bottom left of the world map did not display after holding X. This was really inconvenient because it was the easiest way to see what local public events were live in order for you to jump to them quicker. There was a bug where you couldn't click that and none of the events were showing up, so I'm glad they adjusted that. Fixed an issue where shadows drifted after selecting a custom pin while zooming. And lastly, fixed an issue where the world map would mistakenly pop up after exiting a dungeon or teleporting. So a ton of bug fixes and a lot of quality of life changes, including some really cool cosmetic stuff being added to the shop. That being said, there is also another big feature that was added that was not announced in this update at all that I wanted to go over as well. And that is the new updates to the territory terminal. As you can see, if you guys have been in your base today, you probably noticed this cool hologram effect that's sticking out of your terminal now. If you interact with it and hit J, it says View Nova Deviation. And this brings up a brand new mechanic called the Staroid Matrix. I'm not sure if this is going to work the same way on Way of Winter servers. It may just be for Manibus, because the item that this thing spawns is going to be Staroids, which is the currency that is required to start the Prime Wars on a Manibus server. So normally you would have to do a bunch of other erroneous side objectives to get those orbs. Now it looks like with this Staroid Matrix, we can passively earn these over time. I've already collected probably 20 plus of these throughout the day today. It just passively generates them over time. But the other cool thing that it does, is, as you can see, and the one thing that I'm not 100% sure on, is we have these 5 deviations that are locked in to the Staroid Matrix, and each one of these gives a special bonus that will help you progress faster through the game. I haven't found a way as of yet to remove one and put a different deviation in, so this may be locked depending on the scenario and whatever they choose for your particular phase. That may be how it works. I don't know, but as of right now, these are the only ones, at least on the Lunar Oracle Manibus server hard mode, that pop up on this thing. And what's cool is that each of these, on top of getting the Staroids, does a special unique thing right out of the gate when you're just starting out, that gives you some special bonuses. So for example, the Festering Gel, after a successful purification, and this is a territory purification, by the way, which before wasn't really necessary after the Starcrum update. A lot of people just stopped doing the territory purifications because you don't need to get Starcrum from that anymore. But you will receive a default weapon mod and unlock the mod system, so that's pretty cool. And this is without having to unlock it via memetics. Another one here, we have the Celestial Seed. This is from the Treant boss. Upon successful purification, you will receive the finished building of the solar generator and unlock the power system. I wasn't sure what that meant until I ended up doing a purification to test and checked out my inventory, and sure enough, what I found is that we got a new blueprint for the small solar generator, and as you'll see in a minute from another deviation, I also got a blueprint for the medium garage. And what's really cool about this, and what I haven't seen anyone post about yet, is that you can interact with these and build them just like you would any other blueprint without having the mimetics for it unlocked. So if you were able to do a really early level purification and you didn't have the mimetic points unlocked to be that far down in the tree for something like the medium garage, for example, because that's pretty far down in the tier 4 section. As you can see, I don't have it unlocked, but with that blueprint that it gives you for free, you can use it and instantly spawn without having to build with any materials. You can just instantly build it anywhere you want. And I'm assuming when you delete it, you're going to get it back, which is pretty cool. So it's basically just a permanent bound building material that you can craft, a facility, if you will, that requires no materials to craft, and you don't have to have the mimetics needed to unlock the blueprint, which is pretty cool. So regardless if you have it unlocked, you can build it right away from the beginning of the scenario and have it right out the gate. And the other cool one, similar how the garage works, would be a solar panel. I could see how this would be a big one, because out the gate, you're probably going to work with like lower level, biogenerators and things like that. But you can go ahead and build a solar panel really early on without having the materials required for it. So all of these little deviations in this new little container give you special upgrades. So after a successful purification, the Staroid matrix can be activated. That is what activates it here and starts generating more Staroids. The lone wolf, after successful purification, you will receive the medium garage and medium RV and unlock mobile territory. So that's how you get the blueprints for the garage and the other different vehicle types. Last but not least, for the Dreamcatcher, this one says it'll give you finished items for the electric drill, electric chainsaw, and efficient gathering tools. And sure enough, much like the garage and the solar panel, if you go to your inventory after I did that first purification, I noticed here, if we go to our tools, I also got a bound electric drill and a bound logging chainsaw. So this is really, really cool. And if these stick with you from scenario to scenario, that's a pretty big deal, because those are a couple things that you typically spend your transfer points on to bring with you every time. Almost all of your bound stuff stays with you regardless of what scenario you go into. So if we get to keep these, we won't know until we transfer servers, but if we get to keep these every time, that's going to be a bunch of points that we're going to be saving for the start of new scenarios every time, just because of the upgrades we got from this new Staroid matrix. So by the looks of it, it may be different from scenario to scenario. That's what I'm going to assume, because some of those items change depending on which one you go into. But at least for the Lunar Manibus server, these are the ones that loaded in, and from what I've seen, there's no other way to change them. But you do get some really cool instant upgrades for your territory that you can plant down again without the need of having the materials or the mimetics unlocked in order to craft it. So really cool new feature, and I'm surprised they didn't add this into the patch notes update preview on the website, but I definitely wanted to show that off because that is a big game changer, especially for early game when you're joining a new scenario. So really cool updates this time around, and I definitely wanted to share all that stuff with you guys. If you found it informative and it helped you out, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. I appreciate all of your guys' feedback. Also, if you want to keep up to date with my future videos, again, I said I was going to be making another video here shortly going over the new Battle Pass. Consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of those new videos. And then last but not least, if you want to join a killer community of like-minded gamers, feel free to check the links down in the description and join us on the Discord. We've got over 1,000 members in there now, many of which are playing Once Human. So hopefully you jump in, and we see you guys around here soon. But until the next one, hope everyone has a great day, and we'll see you all later.